I absolutely love trackers. If there's anything that I need to get done or things I need to do repeatedly that I want to keep track of, I create a little tracker and I can fill in little bubbles, and I get so excited every single time I can actually see myself make some progress. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Bex, a Canadian graphic designer, baker, and sometimes gamer, and today we are going to be designing a tracker. Okay, let's get started here. So I have every intention of printing these. So I'm gonna pick a letter for my size. I'm gonna switch my rulers into inches because I work in inches for some reason. I guess the trackers that we need to design today are 100 items and 50 items. So we'll get started with that. I'm also going to keep it pretty generic because I wanna be able to just fill in the items that I like. So let's get started with our shapes. We're gonna use circles, I think. So actually let's maybe make them 1/4 inch. No, half an inch. Half an inch sounds good. So these are gonna be our 1/2 inch bubbles. We don't want a fill on them. I'm also probably gonna keep it pretty neutral, keeping in mind that we're gonna be printing this. So we don't want too many colors, of course, because that would make it harder to print. So if I click and drag here, that's one. And then Command D to duplicate 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I like to just kind of see the shapes that we're working with for the bubbles. So this is 50 circles. So then if we were to double that, that is 100. So that's pretty good size-wise for 100. Oops. I like that it's a square. That makes me pretty happy. If we drag out some guides over here, 8.5, 7.5, you can see that we're just about an inch border on everything. That's pretty nice. Bring this down a little bit. Now, if we wanted to be super picky, which usually I am, I would tuck these guys in so we're exactly at an inch. And then we can get our align palette and distribute them evenly. All right, now this, I wanna make sure it's a perfect square, so we're gonna have to fix our spacing between the rows as well. We've just fixed the spacing between the columns. So this is 6.5081 wide. So if I create a line and we change the height of the line to equal the width of our, bubbles, and then drag it down to the bottom corner here. So that means we need to get all of our rows down to there. There's potentially an easier way to do that, but that seems to work for me, and it's what my brain thought of first, so that's what we did. Now, of course, we're just going to evenly space it this way. If you don't use the Align palette, it's definitely a super, super helpful window that you should start using. Just makes spacing even. All right. It's kind of a little bit of an optical illusion. Every time I look at it, it looks all wonky, but that's a square. All right, so now we need to make this have somewhere to write. Command colon shows and hides your guides. So I was just pressing that in the background there. A gets you to your white select tool, so I use that quite a bit. And then let's make this rounded corners there. Okay. I've been using Poppins as my font of choice for everything these days. I really like chunky stuff, so fix the kerning there. And actually, you know what? We'll tighten this up a bit too. And then I always like really, I like to put the branding for what we're working on here. So this is my 31 by 32 list. Maybe we'll put it at the top actually. Cool, now the tedious task. I'm gonna put numbers in the middle of all of these. I probably should have done this before I duplicated the bubbles, but that's okay. All right, so apparently I don't know how to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is why my square looked super wonky. Okay, that makes way more sense. I'm just grouping these so I can quickly space them without messing up the letters like you just saw there. Oh, that looks so much nicer. So sorry to anyone who caught that right off the bat and that was driving you nuts for the last little bit of this recording, but we caught it. That is the nice thing about designing, is that you can catch those things. So now let's just jump in. We'll ungroup all of these so we can move the numbers down into each row, and then we will just slowly add in all the numbers. So let's get to that right now. I'm also gonna make these like a gray so that they are not super dark. They're just kind of like a guideline of what we're filling in there. So I'm gonna bring one of the circles with us just so I can make sure they're lined up properly in the bubbles. Now, of course, we've got to get rid of those extra bubbles. Okay, now let's just go in and add all of our numbers. There we go. All right, we got our numbers in. Let's take a peek. Nice and simple so far. This is 8.5 by 11, so it will fit nicely. Do we need to add anything else? I kind of want to add, maybe we'll add just a little bit of an inspirational quote. Oops, I locked that. Maybe we'll move this up. Just a little bit. That might be up too much. I think it's up too much. Let's just move it up one bubble. And then we'll move, actually let's pull down our 1 inch. So we have an inch all the way around our paper. How do I feel about that? All right, that looks pretty good. I actually think we can move this up a little bit. Yeah, that looks, maybe that looks better. Okay, and then we'll just add I don't know if I like this font that much, but maybe we'll take this out. It's not, I don't like it. All right, we'll scratch it. We'll go back. I like it simple. This is a really basic tracker, but it's kind of nice. Okay, so that one works for me, but if we want to turn this into a free printable, which I do, so you guys can also have a tracker, is we need to duplicate this, and then instead of having words here, we just need to have lines. And I like the hand-drawn feel, so I'm just gonna chuck that in there, I think, just to get it a little bit hand-drawn, a little bit less perfect. And then up here, instead of having the list number, I'm just gonna put a gray kind of swish. It's pretty perfect, but let's just see. Because then you can always fill in what the list is for you up there. Hopefully you are creating a bucket list, so you can give it some kind of title. If you're doing the birthday bucket list with the naming tags with your ages, then that should fit in there nice and great for you. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty simple tracker here, but that's all we really need. So I have 100 Peloton rides and publish 100 blog posts is my other one. Publish 100 blog posts. All right, so there's my 2 trackers for 100. Here's the free printable one. Of course, we'll chuck in some branding down here. Keep it consistent with the color. Oh, actually, that's pretty light. And instead of doing bold, we'll just make it regular. Just some subtle branding in case you guys wanna know where you got it from. The only problem with that is that we'll need to move this up then, which I still think is okay. All right, super simple tracker. This took not too long at all, and it's going to help immensely in making sure that we actually get progress made on our bucket lists. Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of design with me type video. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to download the free tracker. It's linked in the description down below. I would love to know what you end up using it for. These trackers are great ways to keep track of your progress that you're making on some of the items on your birthday bucket list. If you don't have a birthday bucket list, be sure to check out 5 reasons why I think you should make a birthday bucket list, and also 5 tips on how to actually create your list. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.